Okay, so we just took a look at the hierarchy of concerns, and I believe I showed you the revision strategies list before. Um, so now we're going to take a look at, actually, let me just show you quickly where you can find that. If you look under academic writing resources, you will be able to see the revision strategies list that we have here. I believe I've also made a copy of that attached here. And remember that you do need to take strategies that you think would be very helpful for the author and find one or two of these strategies to incorporate into your letter of analysis. And you will see how I do that in a minute. And this is set up just like the hierarchy of concerns, so that you will be able to say, oh yeah, the person's essay seemed to have some issues with development, and maybe if they started asking themselves some questions, like the curious sibling strategy, that would help them. Or maybe the think critically section would help them, because they really seem to be needing a lot more statistics or facts to substantiate what they're trying to say. So you just copy this, paste it, put it in your letter of analysis, and you're done. Okay, so let's take a look at the letter of analysis model assignment sheet. Okay, so basically these are the parts of your letter that you're going to write should have. There isn't a form for doing this. You're just going to be writing this all on your own, but it should have these major headings. So the first thing that you need to do is you just need to read the essay. And then the second time you read it, you can start thinking about these particular areas. And then the third time you can actually go back and even fine-tune it even more. Okay, so after you've read the essay a couple of times to familiarize yourself with it, you're ready to begin your writing process. So the first thing that you're going to do is just a one-sentence summary of the paper. For example, you can start with, you have written a paper which discusses compassion fatigue, or NEC, or whatever it is the author has written on. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to write a paragraph, or you could do an outline of each paragraph in the essay. I want you to summarize it into one sentence. Okay, so after you've done that reflection portion, you're going to move on to the praise section. And again, positive feedback's really important. Tell the writer what you liked, what worked well, and do it under each one of the 5 categories of the hierarchy of concerns as needed. Because again, you might not be dealing with certain levels on the bottom yet. But, you know, if their thesis was great, tell them that you liked it. You know, if they had good development in a particular paragraph, tell them that. If you like the way that they set up their problem solution structure, that's great information for them to know. Again, you don't have to address every subheading, but in the praise section, it's nice to include as many as possible. Okay, so in the recommendations and strategies for improvement part, again, you're going to be using the same levels as are in the hierarchy of concerns, and you're only going to target 1 or 2 of these. So my guess is, you know, most of us are going to have a pretty good thesis. You're probably going to be in either development, structure, or maybe paragraph organization. Those are the 3 that you're probably going to be focusing on with this particular draft. And these are some important questions to ask yourself. Again, this is all on the model assignment sheet. And then when you're finished with your recommendations, there should be, again, at least 1 or 2 specific strategies that you copied and pasted from our revision strategies list for the author to consider using. You're going to wrap it up with just a sentence or 2 that shows them, you know, you're kind of at a decent level now. If you try these things, I think you'll be able to raise up to the above average category, or whatever you think is appropriate. Okay, and now I'm going to show you an example of a letter of analysis that I did for a student. This was a cause and effect paper, and the student was advocating for private rooms being adopted on this particular floor. So I will attach this so that you get a chance to read through this. She started out with some history of rooms and hospitals, which is very interesting. And then she ends that section with her thesis. I added a little bit more to the thesis because it seemed like there was some, oh, actually she didn't put her thesis in there at all, so that's where it belonged. So that's what I told her. You can see that I numbered the paragraphs, and there were just some little notes that I wrote on the side. Here I'm using the review section in Word, so if you click on review and you turn track changes on, you can highlight an area and click new, and then write in a little comment here for the person to look at. And then if you type in any text that you type in will show green. So that's how you use that feature. Oh, another important thing to know is how to accept or reject the changes, and that you can go change by change and accept individual changes, or you can just accept all the changes in the document. Okay, so let's zoom down to the very bottom. Okay, so here's my letter of analysis. I just tacked it right onto the end of the essay, and I began with a one-sentence reflection. You've written a paper about the importance of private rooms for patient rest and healing to occur. Here's my idea map. I took each paragraph of her paper and summarized it into one sentence. So that's what that summary looks like. Okay, the second section. Let's talk about praise. She did a wonderful job with the history, the background. It was really fascinating to read. I think you'll enjoy it when you take a look at it yourself. The development, she had some good reasoning, anecdotes, some evidence. I told her that paragraph, that's what the P means, paragraph 5, 6, and 7 had very effective details. The structure was problem solution, and it seemed to be quite nice. Okay, third section, recommendations and strategies for improvement. This is the big one here for us. This is the one that I'm going to be looking at very closely when I look at your letter of analysis. What you should be able to identify the thesis. You should be able to tell me which paragraphs or which sections need further development. If the organization needs to be changed, her structure of her paper was fine, so I didn't include organization in this. I did put down paragraph organization. I thought paragraph 2 was a little nebulous, and then paragraph 3 didn't really have a topic sentence. I wasn't sure what the main idea was. So all of those specific issues of the nitty-gritty of the paper go right here in this section. And for that particular paragraph, I thought that the basic paragraph model would be helpful here. I wasn't sure if she remembered what we had discussed with the topic sentences, so I just cut and paste that right from the revision strategies list, basic paragraph model for her to look at. So I gave her some specifics that had to do with her paper and some generic strategies from the strategies list that I thought would help her out. And then here's my wrap up. Very simple. this paper is already well written, with a bit more attention to the weak spots that I pointed out, and making sure that you have topic sentences, making sure that you have your thesis clearly marked in your intro and your conclusion, and with transitions. This is going to be an excellent paper. And I just signed my name, and that's it. Boom, you're done. So this is a very, very big gift that you're giving to your fellow classmate for doing this for them, and it's also an important gift that you're giving to yourself for learning how to do this revision process and really learning how to analyze a paper closely so that you can start raising your own papers up level by level using the hierarchy of concerns, the revision strategies list, and the letter of analysis on your own, so that you have these tools when you don't have me or your peer review partner next semester. You still have these tools that you can use on your own. So good luck and enjoy.